All right, we are being joined over phone line with our editor-in-chief, Wasbir Hussain. So Wasbir, and Unified Command for Manipur Judicial Inquiry and lot of other major announcements by Home Minister Amit Shah. So what are your observations on the decision, Wasbir?
Yes, Priya, the biggest takeaway from Union Home Minister Amit Shah's press conference today is that Manipur has been brought under unified command. That is the big breaking story of the day, that Manipur has been brought under unified command of the army, police and the paramilitary forces. Now, this unified command will be headed by the security advisor, 𝗪𝗪𝗘𝗪𝗓. That is the biggest announcement as far as Union Home Minister's visit to Manipur is concerned. That the biggest administrative measure that the Union government has taken after Union Home Minister Amit Shah's 4-day visit to Manipur is that the trouble-torn state has been brought under the unified command with effect from today, and the security advisor of Manipur, 𝗪𝗪𝗘𝗪𝗓, has been appointed the head of this unified command. Now, apart from that, the Union Home Minister has announced a two-pronged inquiry. One, in Judicial Commission has been announced. It will be headed by a retired judge to go into the trigger, why the violence happened, and to fix accountability. Now, mind it, to fix accountability, that's a very big announcement made by the Union Home Minister. That means the mandate of this Judicial Commission to be headed by a judge, by a retired judge, will be to fix responsibility for this violence that had taken more than 100 lives and displaced around 40,000 people, burnt close to maybe 3,000 homes, so disrupted educational activities in the state. So absolute disruption in the state. So now this Judicial Commission is to fix responsibility for this and also to find out the cause, what provoked this violence. Now, secondly, he has said that as far as cases which have been registered in the various police stations, there have been 5 cases have been picked up and 1 generic case of conspiracy, and total of the 6 cases that will be handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation. And Union Home Minister Amit Shah had emphasized again and again that this inquiry by the CBI will be held under the supervision of the central government. Now, definitely, while he says that he is emphasizing the fact that these inquiries will be carried out under the supervision of the central government, means that he is aware of the fact that there is trust deficit from certain quarters on the government in the state led by Chief Minister 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗓. That is something which is obvious. That is the reason why the Union Home Minister Amit Shah has gone for a judicial inquiry as well as a CBI inquiry, which he emphasized will be held under the direction of the central government. Now, the third important takeaway of this press conference or announcement by the Union Home Minister is that a peace committee will be held under the chairmanship of the governor of the state, not under the supervision of the elected representatives. Again, there is the issue of trust deficit because one section of people do not trust the government headed by 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗓. So that is quite obvious. They have been making public announcements to that effect. So that is the reason why this peace committee also has been formed under the chairmanship or under the presidentship of the governor of the state. So these are very big takeaways, and the focus from now on, as far as the security forces are concerned, is to disarm all those people who are wielding guns, to disarm all those people who have guns, and that is because the government has realized that unless they disarm the people, the instances of firing along the foothills in the border areas is going to continue. So that is the focus. But as I have said, the biggest news today is that Manipur has been brought under the unified command.
Right. So, Wasbir, a renewed call for dialogue has been made by Home Minister Amit Shah, who met around 2 Meitei CEOs, 22 Meitei CEOs and 25 Kuki CEOs in the last 3 days. But don't you think it's up to the state government now to prepare a conducive environment?
At the end of the day, Priya, law and order is a state subject. Law and order is absolutely a state subject. There were some information, there was some news that trickled out during the early days of the violence, is that Article 355 has been invoked in Manipur. So that Article 355 provides for the law and order responsibilities being taken over by the central government, but there is no official confirmation to this effect. We yet don't know whether actually Article 355 have been clamped. So if Article 355 had been clamped, then to a great extent, the law and order becomes the responsibility of the central government. But since law and order is a state subject, the state cannot escape responsibility. At the end of the day, the elected representatives, the elected government in the state is supposed to bridge to remove the trust deficit, to restore confidence among the people. Now, a lot of people are asking this question as to why the village defense committees are required to protect their respective villages. Has the state failed? So this is a question doing the rounds. So at the end of the day, one has to see the role of the security forces, whether it is the police, whether it is the army, whether it is the paramilitary forces, because at the end of the day, it is the responsibility of the state to protect the life and property of its citizens, especially in times when security is under threat. So, therefore, we are hearing these instances of firing between two groups, and on one side is the village defense force, on the other side is another village defense force, so on and so forth. But the point is, why should village defense force take up the gun to protect their respective people on both sides? So that is a big question that is doing the rounds. At the end of the day, one has to wait and watch how the police or the security forces deal with the issue. And now today, we have also known that the DGP has been replaced with a new DGP from outside, who has been transferred to the Manipur cadre, a 1993 batch IPS officer. Now we have to wait and watch what kind of a role the Manipur police is going to play in the days ahead. At the end of the day, the state police is there to stay, and the paramilitary forces which are inducted in view of the security situation will have to go one day or the other. So this is a very, very challenging time for Chief Minister 𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗓 Singh, and he has to go all out to restore confidence among the people, and to also enjoy the trust of both the Meiteis as well as the Cookies, who are the clashing groups at this point in time. And of course, the state government will have to walk the extra mile to see that peace is restored in the state. At the end of the day, they will be responsible to the people at the end of their term.
All right, Wasbir, thank you so much for all those details.